Hello friends. So in today's class we will study the graphical method to solve the system of linear equations in two variables or a pair of linear equations in two variables. So already we have discussed that how to check that what type of solution we are going to get in our previous class, that graphically what sort of solution we will get, or algebraically what type of solution we will get, or we will get the solution or not, means no solution means inconsistent. So when the equations will be consistent, inconsistent, that also you can check using the same three different that the cases we discussed in our previous class. So in continuity of that only, so today that the graphical method we will discuss, and then in our next class we will discuss that the graphical, that different cases we will discuss. So first case we will discuss that where that intersecting lines we will get, means a1 by a2 when it is not equals to b1 by b2. Okay, so already I have written the question that solve the following system of equations graphically. So definitely 100% you are going to get one question in that class 10 CBSE board exam, that a 4 marks, sometimes a 5 marks or 3 marks also. So when they ask in 4 marks, so they also ask that check whether they are consistent or not, the pair of linear equations, and solve it. If they are consistent, so solve it graphically. Or if they are not asking, then also first you should check that whether they are consistent or not, the solution is there or not, and if there, then what type of solution you are going to get. So for that, you know that what we have to find, the ratio of a1 by a2. So what is a1 by a2? No value is there, so 1 is there, so 1 upon 2. Then we will check b1 by b2. What is b1 by b2 here? So it is no value is written here, no numerical coefficient, so 1 is there, so 1 upon minus 3, or you can say minus 1 upon 3, right? So because a1 by a2 is not equals to b1 by b2, is not equals to b1 by b2, so we are getting the 1 by 2 and minus 1 by 3, the different ratios. So by comparing these ratios, we can say that yes, the system of linear equation will have a unique solution. They are consistent. The system of linear equation which is given to you, the pair of linear equation, is consistent, means you will get a solution. And what solution you will get? A unique solution algebraically. But graphically, what you will get, what type of lines you are going to get when you will represent the graph for these two equations? So you will get intersecting lines. So that only now by solving it. So whether they have asked the consistency or not, first you should check it. So in advance you will get the idea that what graph you are going to get, or what type of graph you are going to get. So here already we have checked that. So now first we will solve the first equation. So first equation is what? That x plus y equals to 4. This is your first equation, right? So whenever there is no numerical coefficient in x or in y, so that is, so always it is easy to solve, and the best way to solve it, now the table like this, a table you can make, and only two pair of coordinates you can find out. No need to find 3 or 4, just by 2 only you will get the lines very easily. So here x, here y, in the table I have written. Now what we will do, that whenever there is no numerical coefficient in x and y, so always solve it in that way, that one time you put the value of x0, one time you put the value of y0. Like here, if I'll put here for y, 0 in the here. So this will be 0. So what is x equals to? 4 you will get. So here 4 is there. Now second time you put x equals to 0. X I have put 0. So what we will get the solution? Y equals to 4 simply. So by this first equation, what the coordinates you will get? You know that always the ordered pair will be there. In the coordinate, you know that always in this way you will get it. The first value is always of x, second value is of y, right? And this together they called coordinate. So x we call it abscissa. This in junior classes also you have studied in class 9th also. And y we call it ordinate. So abscissa and ordinate, and together the pair we call it coordinate. So coordinate of the first equation, what we will get according to this. Now different alphabets you can mark for this, the capital A to Z, any of your choice. So A, what is the first pair? 4 and 0. And second you can write as B. So what is the pair now? 0 and 4. First always x, second always y. This is called ordered pair to write any coordinate. This later on in coordinate geometry also you will study. So it is 0 and 4. So first you find the coordinates by solving, by putting different values, so that when I explained you that when there is no numerical coefficient, so always take one time you take y0, one time you take x0. So very easily orally you will get the coordinates. Sometimes the students they find difficulty in solving this and what value we should take or how we take the values. It is not difficult, it is very easily. And when you will get that this, so you can plot the graph of this first equation, and then you solve that second one also in the table. So quickly you can make a table in the exam also with scale and pencil, and you solve it and you will get the coordinates. So we'll plot that coordinate. Now you know that whenever both the values are positive, so always you will get it in the first quadrant. This is the first quadrant. Then in anti-clockwise you have to move. So this is the second quadrant, this is the third quadrant, and this is the fourth quadrant. So in the first quadrant, you know, in graph, whenever you have done in junior classes also, x is also positive and y is also positive. In 4 quadrants you can divide the graph paper. This is x dash, x is positive, x dash is negative coordinate, that's why -1, -2, -3, and no need to write more. And here you can see in y and y dash, so y above positive, below negative. So here in x first quadrant, what you will get? Both positive, x also positive and y also positive. Here what you will get in the second quadrant, you see x is negative and y is positive. So pair is ordered, you know, first is always x, second is always y. Now here in the third quadrant, both are negative. X is also negative and y is also negative. And in the fourth quadrant, you see x is positive and y is negative. Right? So it is positive, negative. So if you see, so diagonally, negative, negative, positive, positive, or in odd numbers, first and 3, third quadrant, 1 and 3, same you will get positive, positive, and negative, negative. And in even quadrants, you can see second and fourth, so 1 negative and 1 positive. So in second quadrant, always x is negative, y is positive. In fourth quadrant, x is positive and y is negative. So very easily then you can plot the points. So already we have marked. So first is, and whenever, now you can think that when one of the value is 0, either x is 0 or y is 0. then these points you will not get in any of the quadrant. Why? Because you know that 0 is neither negative nor positive. So then where you will get these coordinates on the graph? So when x is 0, so point you will get it on the y-axis because the value of y is given. You know always the first value is x and second value is y. If you have any confusion, you can write with pencil on the top and later on you can rub it, but don't do it wrong. So here x is negative, so point y is given, so the point you will get it on the y-axis here. Now here the x is given and y is 0, so point you will get it on the x-axis. So very easily you can plot these 2 points. So first is a, 4 and 0. So x is given, so on x-axis only you will get it. So this is the point you can mark and just encircle it and write that whatever alphabet you have marked and its coordinate. This is the correct way. So here I can write A and the coordinates are 4 and 0. Then second 0 and 4. So 0 is x, y is 4. So point you will get it on the y-axis. So this is the point. That's why I have taken intentionally this type of equation one, that you will get this point on the axis also, not only in quadrant. So this is the point B you can mark here, and the coordinates are 0 and 4. Then using your scale, here I am so using with free hand, but with your scale you can join these two where you have marked this, and whatever the equation of the first is there, that you write on that line. So at the top you can write, or bottom you can, wherever the space you get there you can write it. So here I am writing, this is that x plus y equals to 4. This line is. So the graph of that, the first equation we have already marked on the graph paper, the line you are getting it. Now the second one we will solve it, and in the same way we will get the coordinates of that also. Okay, so second one is what? This is that your second equation. What is that? 2x minus 3y equals to 3. This is the second one. So always, now here this is very interesting point I am explaining you, that whenever in both the numerical coefficient is there, x also and before y also, then always try to solve it in that where that the 2 is there or 5 is there, right? Because you will not get that non-terminating repeating decimal if you get the decimal, but that is in your hand. You take the values like that, so you can avoid the decimals, especially in graphical method, because it will be easy for you to represent if no decimal is there. So I am solving it in x. So you know how to solve the equation. So this we will transpose that side. So 3 plus 3y and upon 2. So I am solving it in x. So I will put the value in y. So two different values of y you can put and you will get the second table. So this is x and this is y. Right. So first value I am taking negative here. So I am taking here. So because you know that 3 minus 3 will be 0 and 0 divided by any number will be what? 0. So why the value I am taking minus 1? So I will put here minus 1. So 3 into minus 1 is minus 3 and 3 minus 3 is 0. So this will be 0 by 2 and that is 0. So what is the value of x I am getting? 0. Then second time the value I can take it 1, because 3 plus 3 will be 6 and 6 divided by 2, so it will be 3. So I am taking y equals to 1. So that's why I am solving it in x and putting the value in y. Always solve it in this way. So 1 I have put here, so 3 into 1 is 3 and 3 plus 3 is 6 and 6 divided by 2. So what it will be, 6 divided by 2, that is 3. So this is 3. So what are the coordinates this time you are getting for that the second equation? Second equation what we are getting, that now I can take C and D. So C coordinates are 0 and -1 and D coordinates are 3 and 1. Now again we will represent this on the graph. So first is 0 and -1. So again the value of x is 0. So point you will get it where? On the y-axis. And y-axis -1 is there. So below you will get. So here is the point. This is 0, x is 0 and y is -1. So this is C 0 -1. So always encircle it, highlight it and then write any alphabet there for that the point which coordinate you are representing. So it will be easy for examiner also that to find out that okay, this is this coordinate, A is there, B is there, this is for first line, this is for second line, and we will write that on the line also the equation. Either if space is there you can extend it further, you can produce it, and on that line also in this way also you can write it. There is no harm in that. So now the second one, the coordinate is 3 and 1. So 3 and 1. So this is 3 and this is 1. Right? So definitely this line you are getting on this only. So where both are intersecting on this point only, they will intersect also. We will join it. So you will join it with using your scale. And this is that here I can write the second equation. So this is for 2x minus 3y equals to 3. So where both the lines, and already in advance we check, because a1 by a2 we got here that is not equals to b1 by b2, so no need to check c1 by c2, and in advance we check that we will get a solution and graphically we will get intersecting line. So where both the lines are intersecting, so that point will be 3 and 1. So this is the point you can mark where, so any point you can mark, say at E they are intersecting, and the coordinates of E is what? X is 3, first always X and then Y always. So that means the solution. So what sort of lines we are getting? Intersecting lines. So what is the solution for this system of linear equation? The solution is that x is equals to 3 and y is equals to 1 is the final solution you will get graphically. So graphically we have solved, we use that condition also we applied and we checked it in advance. So we will get a solution. So, and a unique solution is there, x is 3, y is 1, and graphically we are getting the intersecting lines. So in the next class we will discuss the second case for that coincident lines. So in coincident lines we know that a1 by a2 is equals to b1 by b2 is equals to c1 by c2. So for both the equations will coincide, एक दूसरे में समा जाएंगी. मैं बीच बीच में हिंदी में बोलूँगा, मैंने कल भी कहा था. तो इस तरीके से बहुत आसानी से आप कोऑर्डिनेट्स निकाल सकते हैं. वो दो टेबल आप दोनों इक्वेशंस के लिए अलग अलग बना लेंगे, उनके ऑर्डर्ड पेयर्स लिख लेंगे. फर्स्ट x होगा, सेकंड y होगा, और फिर उन दोनों के इक्वेशंस के जो कोऑर्डिनेट्स हैं उसको प्लॉट कर देंगे. ग्राफ पे प्लॉट करेंगे तो ऑलवेज यू विल गेट अ स्ट्रेट लाइन. तो स्ट्रेट लाइन बनेगी और दोनों स्ट्रेट लाइन जहां कट करेंगी वही उसका यूनिक सॉल्यूशन है. So I hope you understood well. So we'll continue tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye.